What if I told you that a simple game with two pencils could unleash something far more sinister than you ever imagined? The Charlie Challenge, a name whispered in school hallways and shared in late-night conversations, has been linked to unexplained events, eerie stories, and a chilling reputation. But tonight, we're taking it one step further. In this video, you'll uncover the truth behind the viral phenomenon, its unsettling origins, and the real-life incidents that make it more than just a harmless game. Then, we'll dive into a terrifying tale involving a pumpkin, a cursed object that turned an ordinary ritual into a nightmare. Are you ready to learn why some games should never be played? Stay with us until the end as we reveal chilling details you've never heard before. This isn't just a story. It's a cautionary tale that will leave you questioning the thin line between reality and the supernatural. Welcome to Cursed Voices. If you enjoy mysterious stories and uncovering the unknown, hit that subscribe button and join us for more spine-tingling tales. Let's dive in. Before we talk about the chilling stories surrounding the Charlie Challenge, let's delve into its mysterious origins. This game, which seems simple at first glance, has roots tied to folklore and occult practices. The challenge involves two pencils balanced over a piece of paper marked with yes and no. Before we talk about the chilling stories surrounding the Charlie Challenge, let's delve into its mysterious origins. This game, which seems simple at first glance, has roots tied to the pencils as a medium for his and his contact to burn the paper marked with yes and no in opposing quadrants. But who or what is Charlie? Some claim Charlie is a mischievous or malevolent spirit linked to Mexican folklore, although researchers have found no definitive basis for this in traditional Mexican beliefs. Instead, it appears to be a modern legend shaped by collective imagination, blending elements of supernatural stories with urban myths. The idea of summoning a spirit for answers is not new, resembling Ouija boards and other spirit communication practices long associated with the paranormal. The Charlie Challenge exploded in popularity around 2015, fueled by social media. A single viral video showing a pencil mysteriously moving was enough to captivate millions. Soon, teenagers and curious adults worldwide were trying it for themselves. Stories ranged from harmless fun to bizarre accounts of unexplained events, including flickering lights, strange noises, and unsettling feelings. What made this game truly infamous wasn't just its simplicity, but the psychological thrill it provided. The thin line between coincidence and the supernatural kept people guessing and playing. Before we talk about the terrifying pumpkin twist, let's explore some real-life incidents tied to the infamous Charlie Challenge. Many players have reported spine-chilling experiences while engaging with this so-called game. One of the most common claims is the sudden movement of the pencils. Participants describe moments when the top pencil shifts toward yes or no without any apparent cause. These movements, while subtle, leave players frozen in fear, questioning whether they've truly summoned something beyond their understanding. Others recount even stranger occurrences, lights flickering, unexplained whispers, or the feeling of being watched are often reported after a session. In one story, a group of friends asked Charlie for a sign. Moments later they heard faint knocks on the wall, though no one else was home. Another account speaks of a player who failed to properly end the game, only to find themselves haunted by vivid nightmares and eerie coincidences for weeks. Skeptics, of course, attribute these experiences to logical explanations. They point out that drafts or unsteady hands could easily cause the pencils to move. They also suggest that the psychological state of the participants, already primed for fear, can make them interpret ordinary events as supernatural. But for those who've experienced the challenge firsthand, the line between reality and the unknown remains disturbingly blurred. Before we talk about how the story ends, let's dive into the eerie twist involving the haunted pumpkin. It begins with a group of friends who decide to add a creepy spin to the classic Charlie Charlie game during a Halloween night. Instead of using just pencils and paper, they carve a menacing face into a pumpkin, placing it at the center of their setup. They light candles around it to create an ominous atmosphere, unwaringly inspire a wasted childhood carved out. As the game begins, the group calls out to Charlie, asking, "Charlie, Charlie, are you here?" At first, nothing happens, and they laugh nervously. But then the candle flames flicker violently, as though disturbed by an unseen force. The pencil moves to yes, and the room plunges into an unsettling silence. Shadows begin to dance on the walls, but the friends insist it's just their imagination. The real the pumpkin's carved face seems to change, a grin widening, its hollow eyes blurring. Low whispers echo in the room, too faint to understand, but chilling enough to paralyze them with fear. Objects start to shift subtly, and one friend swears they see the pumpkin's mouth move. What was supposed to be a harmless twist to a game becomes a night of escalating dread as the group realizes they've summoned something far darker than they anticipated. Before we talk about the aftermath, let's focus on the group's desperate attempts to escape the horror they've unleashed. The once innocent pumpkin, now glowing with an unnatural pulsing light, becomes the center of their nightmare. Its carved grin seems to shift, mocking their fear, as whispers echo louder, circling the room like an invisible presence. The friends frantically try to end the game, recalling the rules of the challenge. "Charlie, can we stop?" they shout, their voices trembling. But instead of silence, the pumpkin's glow intensifies, casting eerie shadows that seem to move with purpose. One of them grabs the paper and pencils, ripping them apart in desperation, only to hear a deep, guttural laugh resonate from the pumpkin. Panic sets in as the lights in the house flicker violently, plunging the group into complete darkness. In the chaos, one friend attempts to extinguish the candles, believing it might sever the connection, but the flames refuse to die, as if protected by an unseen force. Another tries to destroy the pumpkin, but as they approach it, the air grows colder, and they swear they feel something brush past them, something they cannot see. The group's fear turns to sheer terror as the pumpkin suddenly moves, shifting slightly towards them as if alive. Each attempt to escape or end the ritual seems to be met with an escalating response, leaving them trapped in a house no longer under their control. Every creak, shadow, and sound becomes a sinister threat, and their struggle for freedom becomes a fight to survive. Before we talk about how the nightmare ends, let's focus on the group's final attempt to break free from the curse they've unknowingly invited. In a last-ditch effort, they gather all their courage and rip the pumpkin from its spot, throwing it out the window, hoping that would sever the connection. But as they do, the room seems to hold its breath, and a sudden cold chill fills the air. Just as they think they are free, the whispers return, now louder and more frantic. The lights flicker once more, and the group watches in horror as the pumpkin reappears on the floor in front of them, as if mocking their efforts. It's no longer glowing, it's dark, almost dead, but still very much present. The eerie feeling in the air thickens, and the house feels impossibly colder. They realize, with growing dread, that they haven't escaped. They've only invited the horror to follow them. The game was never really over, and now the entity they summoned is free to haunt them forever. As they stare at the pumpkin, they hear a voice, low, raspy, and unmistakably coming from within the room. "You can never leave." The camera pulls back, the whispers growing, leaving the question unanswered. The curse remains. Some games are best left unplayed. Thank you for watching, and we hope this chilling tale has left you questioning just how far your curiosity should go. Remember, some games are best left unplayed. If you enjoyed this eerie story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Curse the Voices. For more spine-tingling content, stay safe and keep your lights on, because you never know when the unknown might come knocking.